Look where I am. I'm in the kitchen. Turn that down a little bit, Andy. I'm in the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen. Welcome in the kitchen. I'm going to make something with y'all I've been wanting to make for a while and just thought, you know what? I'm going to make it. I'm going to make a strawberry angel food cake. Easy peasy. Easy, easy. Angel food cake mix into my mixer. Right like that. There it is. Angel food cake mix. Just so happened I have a Betty Crocker. I don't know if they're the only ones that make it. I don't know who else makes it. That's what they had at the grocery store, so that's what I bought. I love, love, love an angel food cake. I do. And when I was working, there was a girl I worked with. Her mother could make the best angel food cake, and they would be this tall. I'm not kidding you. That cake would be this tall. That was absolutely the best cake, and every year on my birthday, she would bring me an angel food cake, and I would threaten anybody that touched it. I'm like, that is mine. It's my birthday. Don't touch my angel food cake. And then Ma, as we called her, Don's Aunt Charlotte, could make the best angel food cake. Hers would be really tall. And they made them the old-fashioned way. They separated their eggs, beat their egg whites, then added their sugar and their flour. That's how they did them. I'm just using a cake mix. They work good, and you don't have to have all those egg yolks. You have to do something else with. And so, cake mix to the rescue. And you're going, how are we going to make it strawberry? I know that's what y'all are thinking. What's she going to do to it? How's she going to make it strawberry? She going to put strawberries on it? No. Am I using fresh strawberries at all? No, I'm not. Freeze-dried strawberries. They won't mess with the texture because they don't have any water, any liquid at all in them. I'm crunching them up if that's what y'all hear. They don't have all that stuff. So we're going to add these at the very end after we get our cake mixed up. And this needs 1 1/3 cups of water. So I'm going to get it right here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start this to mixing. Oh, we can't go to malls.
Making the balls Sonny so.
Oh, we can't go to malls. I've got in here my whisk. Not my beater, but my whisk. Because we want to whip a lot of air into it. Turn it on and then just start drizzling this water in there. No, we're not going bananas either. No, we're not going bananas and eat dinner. And we're going to turn it up on medium speed. I believe it says medium speed. Yeah, beat it for 1 minute. 1 minute. It's timing. Alright, I got the timer going. I'm going to scoot it back. While it's beating, we're going to get our pan ready. You do not grease this pan. Parchment paper. And no, you do not have to bake it in an angel food cake pan. Do I have one? Yes, I do. No, we're going to eat right here. I'm using 4 pieces of parchment paper. Just like this, because it's sheets here and I want it to come up in my corners now. Okay? Alright, there we go. There's our pan. All ready to go. There it is. We're about there, about 10 more seconds. How quick was that, you all, to mix up an angel food cake? No.
Why can't I Carolyn sauce and supper?
No. All right, y'all, I'm gonna do this right here because I want this to be more of a
Making
powder.
the audio video so sunny so birds. Making the audio video so sunny dancers.
And these I'm just gonna do like this.
Making
Crunch down
the
in here.
video so sunny so birds.
No, be quiet.
Making the video so sunny dancers.
Let me get me a bowl. You do this better in a bowl. Then I'll dump it. With a spoon. I'm just
Making
gonna
them all
crush
sunny so birds.
right down through this strainer. Oh, let's see.
Making
that
the
back.
balls sunny dancers.
Just like this. See? No.
Look at them all sunny summer.
No.
Look at the net so sunny summers. Look at the net so sunny dancers. Working now we're going to Nana Sesame Supper.
No.
We're going to Nana Sesame Dancers.
No.
We're going to now we're going to Mall Sesame Suppers.
No. All right, we're gonna mix this up.
We're going to Mall Sesame Dancers.
I can get it out.
We'll get a Tanya so sunny so.
No, we're going to supper right here at home. I'm making us a cake. I'm going to taste this right here too.
We'll get a Tanya so sunny dancers.
No.
We'll get a balls and suppers.
No. All right, look at that.
We'll get them all
Doesn't that look
sunny dancers. We'll get the balls and dancers.
Okay.
Look at them all sunny suppers.
Spread this around good, just like this.
Look at them
right.
all sunny suppers.
325 degree oven until it's golden brown on the top. Baking it in this, I do not know how long to bake it. If it's in an Angel Food cake pan, 37 to 47 minutes. 2 loaf pans, 35 to 45 minutes, or 3 8.5 inch loaves, 28 to 38 minutes. It'll probably be somewhere in the 35-minute range on this one. I've baked them in this before, and they're just easier to tear you off a hunk. Okay. All right, so there's our strawberry angel food cake in the oven in less than 10 minutes. And that meant crunching up some more of our berries. So it'll be done here in just a little bit. This quick short video, considering my sewing ones y'all been watching go on for hours. This one's real quick, just a simple cake. We might make some strawberry whipped cream for the top of it after a while. Yes, I don't have any fresh strawberries, or I would put some of those in there too. But I will have, before too long, I will have some fresh strawberries. So I will see you all back here in just a little bit. I just took our strawberry cake out of the oven. And here it is in this pan. And this is a wire rack. You're supposed to always turn the angel food cake upside down. But because I've got it on this parchment paper, I just pop it out of that pan, just like that. Don't even have to wash the pan. It's clean. Don't even have to wash it. And then I'll pull this down so it can cool, okay? And we have to taste it. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Delicious. Now that is so good. You could do a blueberry, you could do banana, you could do anything that you've got freeze-dried fruit. Flavor it any way you want it if you've got freeze-dried fruit. Okay? I'm going to set that back there. We'll make us some strawberry whipped cream in a little bit. We're going to cook us some supper here in a few minutes. I'm going to fix us some egg rolls and a big salad. Yum! Doesn't that sound good for summertime? We're going to have chicken egg rolls, and I'm got a Sam's order today, so I've been in the kitchen trying to put all my produce away. I didn't get meat this time, just got produce. I'm trying to kind of stagger it so it doesn't take me an entire day just to get my groceries put away. Although, you know, once you do it and it's done. But trying to stagger my larger purchases, like the things I have to prep for the freezer. I'm trying to stagger those out so that I don't have all the vegetables and all the meat coming all at one time. I'm just doing a few more orders, but getting less, just because it just makes it easier on me. And I've been doing some peppers and mushrooms for the freezer. Still got plenty of fresh mushrooms, no worries. And I didn't get meat this time. I've got a few onions to chop. I just got vegetables, and I'm gonna cut us up a big salad, and we're gonna make some egg rolls in a little bit. So I'll bring y'all back. We'll get ready to make our egg rolls and our whipped cream. Okay, we're over here at the stove, starting our egg rolls. I've got in my skillet right here. I'll sit it down in there. There's my skillet. Onions, peppers, and some celery. Red and yellow peppers, some onions, and just a little bit of celery. Sauteing that up. And here's my chicken. It's just chicken breasts that are ground up. Just like that. All that's in there. It's going to get all happy, and I'm going to throw some mushrooms in there. I'm just going to let every bit of this cook up together. And I've got carrots and cabbage over here. Matter of fact, I've got 2 kinds of carrots. We'll just go ahead and add some of our carrots right now. Let them be getting cooked up good. I just had this little bag part of what was left over from something else I made that I just needed some chopped up carrots for, probably in a salad here recently or something. And I was in a hurry, so I bought the convenience. And I've got a little butter in here and a little bit of oil so it can cook, you know. This will not have a lot of water because these were not frozen vegetables, you all. That's the reason I went ahead and put it all in here, meat and everything. I'll add the cabbage right at the end. The because all you really want it to do is just kind of wilt. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought I made those egg rolls one time, and I thought those were the best egg rolls, and I couldn't remember how I made them. So you know what I did? I went back and I watched my video of how I made those egg rolls, and I believe this is how I did it, or close to how I did it. I was in a doctor's office with my daughter, and I couldn't just. I had to turn me off. Didn't get to watch me all the way through. But I kind of got the gist of it. And now I know why y'all want recipes. I know. I always try to put one in the bottom for me. I know. So, if these turn out good, I'm going to try to write a recipe. So, we all have it next time. And we don't have to rewatch everything. I've got some more recipes I'm going to do with you all. One of them is a Parmesan crusted lemon chicken. I've made it a handful of times. And y'all, it's always one of the best things. And it's a really good, what I call summertime pasta dish. I'm just standing here stirring these vegetables. It's what I call a really good summertime pasta. So, I'll put just a little more butter in there. A couple more little pats of butter. But I want to do that with you all because we like pasta even in the summertime. You know, we eat pasta salad a lot. And, oh, my light's on. But for some reason, it looks dark over here in the corner, don't it? So, here comes the mister. Have you got a story? He's thinking. He said he didn't know if he had a story. Alright, now this has got a lot of water in it. I'm going to let all this water cook out, and then I'm going to add that cabbage and some, my garlic. I'm going to have to use garlic powder because I'm out of fresh garlic. So, here's some garlic powder. I'll go ahead and add a little bit of that. Just sprinkle it across the top. He's going to come back with a story or not. We'll see. I know he's got stories. And I did not put salt on this because I'm going to add soy sauce. And I've got low sodium soy sauce, but still, you know, we'll see. And then I'll add the salt after I add the soy sauce. And then we'll get these little babies rolled up and ready to fry. Comes Mr. Andy in. We're having egg rolls and a salad for supper. That's what we're having. Egg rolls and a salad. Let's get y'all back and you can kind of see me and the pot. Nothing really to see in the pot, but these vegetables and all do cook down quite a bit. All the water to cook out. Look at that. Lots of water, lots of liquid in there. Lots and lots of liquid. I could add some water chestnuts. Good. I think they'd be good in there. Let me grab us some. here's just some water chestnuts. I chopped them up real fine. Because we've got some that don't like them and they'll never know they're in there if they're that fine.
Water chestnut?
Yeah.
I like them big.
Well, I know, but Macy doesn't like them, and I didn't want to make 2 batches. She'll never know they're in here.
She's big now.
She can't now. They'll still be crunchy.
Okay. I got a story.
Oh, he's got a story. All right, come on over.
Now I'm gonna tell this one on me. Well, it is about me. Part of it. Anyway, it also
I'm gonna add some soy sauce. I don't know, I just dumped some in there. All right.
this story involves that old green Buick I spoke of previously in a video, but the old green Buick at this point had aged quite a bit, along with me. And it was one of those, where my parents were like, "Oh, we better take this car to the mechanic and have him check it out and make sure it's gonna make the trip." As I said before, my parents weren't even going out and buying the car. So we were going to the beach.
In goes some more carrots and cabbage.
Myrtle Beach. This was the days before Myrtle Beach was known for violence and shooting in the streets. And everybody in this area went to Myrtle Beach. You go to Myrtle Beach, you see people from all over the eastern United States, but most of them came from our area. I mean, you go down to Myrtle Beach and you see people that just live a couple of miles from you hadn't seen in a long time, but you've seen them in Myrtle Beach. Well, anyhow, Myrtle Beach is a lot simpler time. Anyhow, to give you a backstory on this, I guess I was right at about 16, and a friend of mine was going with us, and he came along for the ride, just I guess to keep me occupied or something. Well, he was a little bit, I'll call him a little bit adventurous. He's a good kid though. He really was. He was a good kid, and as I said, he was a little bit adventuresome. More adventuresome than me. I'd not gotten my full adventuresomeness at that point in time, but anyhow, I was working on it slowly. Well, we take off to the beach in the old Queen Mary, and he and I are riding in the back, I guess plotting up some nefarious plan. But unbeknownst to me, he had a few extra plans up his sleeve I did not know about.
Oh no.
So here we are. We're headed to Myrtle Beach, and we're in.
I'm gonna add just a little bit of this chicken bouillon.
We're in the state of South Carolina at this point in time. We might be 150 miles, 200 miles from the beach, which that last 50 miles of the beach is like 500 miles. And I hadn't been to Myrtle Beach in a long time anyhow, but it was like, kind of getting down that last 50 miles, it was like too long. But anyhow, that's the day. So we're going down the road, and I guess the old Queen Mary needs to be pulled to the dock and refueled. So Dad pulls into this gas station, a Gulf. It's a Gulf station, Gulf fuel oil, which Gulf I guess does not exist anymore. But Dad had a Gulf credit card to buy gas with, which doesn't matter. Dad always paid everything off every month anyhow. But anyhow, so he pulls into this Gulf station. He's got a Gulf card, Mom's got a Gulf card. And we all get out. and go in. And, you know, everybody's going to the bathroom. You know, that's back when it wasn't fancy. You know, if there was Buc-ee's anymore. One of those deals where you have to go out and get the key. You go outside. You know,
I remember
it
those.
looks like a mass murder committed by a bunch of nasty mechanics has occurred.
Yeah.
But
I remember
anyhow,
those.
you know, when we stop there, I think we get like a, you know, Coke out of the old vending machine. You know, that's one of those where you put your money, you open that door, and you reach back in there and jerk them out. You know.
And they're
and
glass
also-
bottles too.
Yeah, and also, you know, you can go over here in the gas station, you know, up in their office parts, you know, because the other side over there, they're fixing all the broken down cars that broken down the interstate.
If we even had interstate.
And you can look at that display right there where they have all those maps. They have those road maps. And this is back when you had to like buy one road map for each state. Which I don't know why they did that. I guess to make more money. It's like, you know,
Because the
you bought
state's
one
got
from
the
South
map.
Carolina, you had bought from North Carolina, and this and that. They might tease you a little bit to show you an extra 20 miles in North Carolina, but you go past the 20 miles, you know, you're off into the wilderness, you know. So we go in there, you know, and get our drinks, visit the mechanic's house of horrors, and we come back out, take off back down the road, you know. They get down back off the road about 10 miles, and Mom looks over at Dad and she says, did you go back in there and pay for the gas? Dad said, no, I thought you did. Well, turns out neither one of them paid for the gas. Now, this is back in the old days where, you know, you didn't have to pay at pump or anything. And this was even back so far, I know you young people don't understand this, anybody watching here. But that was back in the old days where you gave your card and they put it in this machine, they swiped it to the side. It was on a carbon paper. You know, and I mean, you know, your credit limit for gas might have been $100, but you could have gone in there and charged $10,000, you know, and they wouldn't have known it because nobody checked anybody's credit limit because all they did was just swipe that thing, you know, and they turned the carbon copy into the bank, I guess, to get refunded on this. It was unbanking. So they're like, you know, and they're like, and I look over, you know, and there's my friend over here, and he's getting paler by the minute. He's getting real pale, you know, and he starts to look behind us, you know, and this and that. And I'm thinking, what's his problem? I said, he's not driving, not his car, and he didn't pump any of this gas. Why is he so concerned? Well, continuing down the road, you know, Mom and Dad, they come to a conclusion, you know, well, we're not going to turn around, but we're coming back this way, you know, in a week, so we're going to pay this. We'll stop in and we'll pay these people. Well, finally, get a few more miles down the road, my friend, who's now white as a sheep, whispers something in my ear. Turns out he bought some herbal weed with him. It was folded up in these papers, you know, kind of like a left-handed cigarette, you know. Had a few of those with him. So I guess he could envision, you know, us being pulled over and searched and all of us going to federal prison for 40 years. Doing a hard time in there with all the murderers, you know, and everything else. Well, we continue to run from the law all the way down to Myrtle Beach, which I'm not sure if we're staying at the captain's quarters or wherever else, but I think this one actual time we were actually staying beachfront. You know, Dad never wanted to stay beachfront. He wanted to stay up like two highways up from the beach because it was a lot cheaper. But Dad could well afford oceanfront, but no. And I know we looked like I know we probably looked like a sight rolling into this oceanfront place, you know, with the old Green Queen Mary, you know. She kind of lost her luster because at this point in time she's probably 8, 9, maybe 10 years old. Anyhow, here's where the story gets a little more interesting, or not interesting, is he finally, you know, get on the beach or whatever else, and my friend lights up his herbal recipes there. Honest to God, I don't remember what I did or not. I may have, I don't know. But the biggest part I remember of it was Mom and Dad went out to eat or something or wherever else. And we were kind of hanging around back in the hotel room. As I said, they'd gone out to eat. They came back, it was about 8 o'clock. And I don't know whether any of y'all ever been to Myrtle Beach or not. It may not even be like this anymore because, you know, all the drive-by shooting and violence down there, who knows what. But it used to be the kids would get out and they would drive up and down the strip on Ocean Boulevard in Myrtle Beach for like 3 or 4 miles. And I mean, traffic would be just back to back, bumper to bumper, just packed. I mean, people might be moving 5 miles an hour, maybe if that. You know, that way, you know, you could look out the window and yell at whoever you like, you know, yell at some girls over walking down the strip, or, you know, maybe some in the car behind you, wherever else, you know, people hanging out of the back of trucks, now the back of cars, and all kinds of various bad behavior.
No seat belts, just
No, we don't need that.
just come on.
But anyhow, Mom and Dad got back. Dad's like, well, what are y'all doing here? Says, you need to be out. You need to be out and enjoying things. You need to be out, not in this room, you know, and this and that, you know. Here, get out there and cruise, you know. He go give me the car, take a car. Well, the problem is at that point in time, you know, you had to be 18 at that point in time to purchase alcohol, but that didn't stop any of us. We managed to find a place that would sell us beer, which, incidentally, at that time, beer in South Carolina supposedly had a lower alcohol content to it than any other states. But anyway, well, we have been sampling some fermented beverages. Actually, probably sampling more than we should have. But, you know, and Dad just insisting upon the fact we need to get out and we need to take a car and drive up the road. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, that's probably not the greatest idea right now at this point in time, Dad. I mean, I'm not laying on the floor, you know, puking and other things like it would have been on another Myrtle Beach trips. But anyhow, I was not. And so anyhow, we kept getting coerced, and you know, finally we evicted and we let out of the room. Well, as I said, I got behind the wheel and started out, you know, on the old Queen Mary there, you know. It was like, you know, and I really shouldn't have been out. Of course, it wasn't bad, I mean, but you know, the whole time I was just like sweating, going, you know. And as I said, everything was bumper.
More than 5 miles an hour.
But everything was bumper to bumper, you know, and people were going slow and this and that and everything else. You know, cars would be stopped and there'd be like 2 foot between them and this and that. And, you know, I remember, and I know I got up there at one point in time, my foot like slipped off the brake, and you know, I kind of nudged the car in front of me, and really I could have done that stone cold sober, but oh man, it was bad again. You know, at this point I was wondering whether I was going to be indicted for vehicular homicide while intoxicated, or I was going to the federal pen over this 100 pounds of marijuana we had smuggled. And, you know, guy got out, looked at the bumper, everything's fine, nothing's fine, nobody's smudged anything or whatever else. If I had had any, if I had been compromised in my thoughts or anything, my thinking, driving at that point in time, at this point in time, I became very sober, extremely sober, and we managed to complete the cruise of Queen Mary, and I don't remember how we got back. But anyhow, after that week was over, as we were headed home, Dad pulled back in there to that gas station where he'd gotten gas earlier. Matter of fact, I think he got some more gas, and he explained to the guy that, you know, that they'd mistakenly gotten gas and not paid for it. And that guy said, "That's all right." He said, "I knew you'd be back." He says, I knew you was headed to the beach. And for years after that, we'd be going down to Myrtle Beach, down through there. And I even remember where the station was, and I know I tell Lynn, I said, now, there's time up there, we drove past that station up there and stole some gas. And but it sat there for years after that. I guess they finally tore it down. And I can't actually remember the city it was at right now, but I guarantee if it was still standing on, I went down through there, I'd recognize it. But that's the story now. I haven't been saving this story up. This is an impromptu story. She came up with this. She told me I needed to tell a story.
Well, I was in here cooking and I thought, well, you want to tell a
It's
story?
kind of like what Macy would tell me when she was little. Daddy, say something funny,
Well, I have to tell y'all, he still does that. And over the weekend, I was with Macy and we were in Knoxville with some of her college roommates, and I said something about, I've got the YouTube channel and I cook and stuff, and I said, now the mister's starting to tell stories, and she said, oh, I have to watch now.
Yeah, but there's a difference now. Back when Macy would tell me to say something funny, she might have been 6 or 7 years old or whatever else, and I'd tell something funny. The other girls would actually laugh. They thought it was funny. Now, if I was to tell something funny to her college roommates, they'd just kind of just look at me like, glance over at Macy, kind of like, bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Yeah, that's a southern thing. Bless your heart.
That's all I've got for right. Well, I got more, but that's all.
I'll bring y'all over here. I'm rolling up egg rolls. And I've just been rolling away while he's been telling the stories.
I'm hungry. I hope that's not held your.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. All right, I'll tell y'all how I'm doing this. Get your egg roll wrapper. Lay it diagonally. These are easy to do. This is just some water on the pastry brush. You can use your fingers or whatever. Put your filling right here in the middle.
They're eating, yeah.
No,
Why's it called an egg roll?
because it's an egg roll wrapper. I don't know. I mean, I could have put eggs in it, I guess. Corner to corner like that, in outside corners to the middle, and then roll it. Just like that.
That's a good question.
I don't know. Google it.
Well,
There's also things called spring rolls, and they're made like this, but they've got rice paper, I think.
spring?
I saw spring roll wrappers.
Well, why is a burrito not called a tortilla roll?
Well, I don't know. You have to ask the Mexicans.
That's another bad habit I have. I think about things that
He thinks about all kinds of stuff,
don't have any art. The other night when Andy was at the hospital, I was wondering how much the power bill was at the hospital.
Oh, well. At least these will be good heated up for lunch tomorrow. Yeah. About got them all done here. I'm gonna turn this oil on because we're gonna deep fry them this time. In fact, let's just put it over on this side. It's already come hot. These roll real easy. Easy peasy. I guess you could make egg roll wrappers, but that's not something I've tried. I've never had pot stickers. Maybe I need to look into that. I think they're supposed to be one of those things to give it a go. This one probably could have had a little more filling, but that's all right. It's just the baby one. One of them over here is a little bit too fat. I guess I'll get the oil about $3.50, about like you do for French fries. Let's see if I can put all that in here. Maybe not. Maybe I can. There we go. This one's a fat one. A very fat one. But it rolled up. You want to make sure those edges all go down good and tight. All right. Here we go. There they are all rolled up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 15. 15 egg rolls to y'all come back over here now. Here we are back over here at the stove. There's my handy dandy thermometer. It's 115 degrees. I have a mess over here in the sink, y'all. Big old mess. I have something here on the stove smoking. Let me get something to wipe it off with. Y'all want to be careful when you're frying stuff. I'm going to tell y'all what I did. I don't know, it was a week or two ago. I was in here fixing some French fries. And I had a little bag of French fries up here in the freezer up here. Just had just a handful of French fries in it. That's all I had. And I'm like, I want to get rid of these. I'm going to cook these first. I threw them in the pot of oil. And the oil was a little hotter than it should have been, but it wasn't overly hot. But it was a little bit warmer. And I threw them in there, and they were crusted with ice. Well, lo and behold, oil cooked out all over the top of my stove, and I'm like turning everything off. I'm just panicking that the whole thing's going to go up in flames. I'm going to burn my house down. All that. I grabbed some towels and things and tried to sop up some of that hot oil. I had the biggest mess. I mean a mess. And if you have a stove, a gas stove, of course that oil's going to ignite when it hits that flame. So you need to be extra careful and keep you some baking soda or a fire extinguisher. Either one, but you do not want to put water on an oil fire. I've got a big jug of baking soda out under the sink over here. Or you can use either one of those. Or if you have a stove with the plug-in eyes, you know, that you take out, in and out, the old coil eyes, it'll catch fire too. So you don't want to do that. Just saying, you don't want to do that. It's at 196. It's getting there. It is getting there. And here's our yummy salad. Doesn't that look good? Yum. That and an egg roll. That's all we need. Lots of vegetables. Lots and lots of vegetables. So, that's what we're going to have. I've got some more vegetables here to put in the freezer. And we've got to make our whipped cream for our cake. But we'll do that whipped cream for the cake in a little bit. I'm going to change your battery before you die on me. Alrighty, our oil is at 325. Not quite hot enough. I want them to come up and float when I drop them in there. I'm gonna grab me some paper towels and put on this one. Down just a little bit. They're popping. Those are done. I've been through this time. They're going to get a fourth one. Those are kind of small. I've got 4 going now. here's our beautiful egg rolls. Show y'all our egg rolls right here. Look at those. Aren't those pretty? Gorgeous egg rolls, and they are yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Look at that. Y'all want a bite? Yum, 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 yum. I know I want a bite. I do. See if I can stack one more on here before they go to the table. Oh, maybe I can. Aha! I got them all on there. Yay! I'll bring y'all back in just a few minutes. We'll make our whipped cream and have our cake. All right. Let's make us some whipped cream. Got some fresh cream here. Just got it today. It's good till June the 20th. Oh, it'll probably be gone before then. Because we use a lot of whipped cream in the spring because we make a lot of strawberry shortcake and stuff. It's yummy. Y'all know how to whip cream. Just turn it on. Whip it is. Let it go. Whipped up. Now then, to make strawberry whipped cream, we're going to add some powdered sugar and some of our crushed strawberries. These are our freeze-dried strawberries that I have run through the food processor. And I'm going to add just a hint of vanilla. This is some of our vanilla that we made, back a year ago, I guess. Just a little hint of that vanilla. All that up in there together. All right, let's give it a taste. Use our finger, it's clean. I'm going to put just a little more powdered sugar and just a little more strawberry because it doesn't have a lot of strawberry taste. No, these are just strawberries. That's all they are. They're just strawberries. They're not, no sugar, no nothing. Freeze-dried strawberries. You can get them other places. Here's just a piece of cake. Put y'all up here now. We'll see if Mr. Andy wants to eat this. Andy, you want this strawberry whipped cream and strawberry cake?
Yes.
All right. Look at that. Now I just need a strawberry to go on top of it, and I don't have one. I told the mister, I said, I've got strawberry cake, strawberry whipped cream, but no strawberries. Because, you know, little Mr. Andy ate them all. Let me get us one bite of this. Just gotta get one bite. That's all I need. I'm going to give the rest of it to him. That's good. I'll sit down at the table and eat it. Yum, you all. That's so good. You can make strawberry banana with cream and cake, blueberry, whatever you want to do. As long as you've got the freeze-dried. And if you're lucky enough to have a freeze-dryer, freeze-dry your own fruits. And then have them to do this with. Y'all, that is so good. That's the best part. Oh my goodness. We've had a wonderful day here in the kitchen together. Sit still. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. And I'm going to wrap our cakes up good because I do not want them ants to get on them like they did at Easter. Here's just our regular, this is just a plain angel food cake. We like to just tear it off just like that. Just eat it. My favorite thing. Oh my goodness, that's so good, you all. We've had a wonderful day in the kitchen together. We've made cakes, we've made strawberry whipped cream, we've made egg rolls. Yum. You didn't come with me to cut up our salad, but I just cut up a green salad. We had a wonderful supper. Use your fork. Set it on the table. No, that's Mama's, that's Daddy's, that's Sissy's. So we've had a great day here. Mr. Andy's over here eating his cake. He loves it. And I'll have you some in a little bit. I've got to walk all the way to the end of our driveway. We've got a big long driveway. I've got to walk up there and get the mail. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.